Google helped invent the transformer, built its own AI chips, owns one of the largest software distribution systems on Earth, and has enough data centers to make a small country check its electricity bill. And its next flagship AI model is reportedly months late because of coding. Gemini 3.5 Pro was supposed to arrive in June. According to Bloomberg, the model missed Google's internal performance targets, especially for software development. Alphabet shares fell 4% on Thursday after the report. That is an impressive amount of market value to lose because an unreleased chatbot allegedly could not satisfy the world's most expensive code review. This is not proof that Gemini is bad. Nobody outside the testing group has the model. But it is proof that the AI race has changed. Inventing the architecture is no longer enough. Owning the chips is no longer enough. Publishing a benchmark slide is no longer enough. At some point, somebody has to press deploy. And right now, npm test has entered the chat. Here is what is reported and what is official. At Google I/O in May, CEO Sundar Pichai said Gemini 3.5 Pro would launch in June. July arrived, Gemini did not. Reuters, summarizing Bloomberg's reporting, says Google is now months behind schedule. Bloomberg cited 10 current and former employees and reported that some engineers, researchers, and managers are worried about losing ground to OpenAI and Anthropic. Google also reportedly refreshed training data late in June to improve coding. The results still fell short of expectations. Google's public response is more measured. A spokesperson says the company is testing 3.5 Pro, an upgraded Flash model, and other systems with partners. Google also says it is shipping quickly across a wide range of cost-efficient models and working productively with the US government. So the model is not dead, it is in testing. Corporate translation. The cake exists, the frosting is under review, and legal has questions about the candles. The painful part is the history. In 2017, researchers at Google published Attention is All You Need. The paper introduced the transformer architecture that became the foundation for modern large language models. Google did not merely join the AI revolution, it uploaded the starter code. Then it built tensor processing units, custom chips designed for machine learning. It formed Google DeepMind. It connected AI to search, YouTube, Gmail, Maps, Android, Workspace, and Cloud. On paper, this is the most unfair loadout in the game. Frontier research, custom silicon, giant datasets, cloud infrastructure, cash flow, and billions of users. Yet AI history is full of a brutal lesson. Research advantage and product advantage are different species. The Transformer paper can explain attention. It cannot explain why 47 stakeholders are still editing the launch document. Google built the racetrack. Its rivals learned to drive on it. Now everyone is honking while Gemini is still in the pit lane. Why would coding delay an entire flagship model? Because code is where AI stops being a charming text generator and starts touching production systems, payroll, security, and the one database nobody admits is held together by a cron job from 2014. Coding is also unusually easy to grade. A poem can be interesting. A strategy memo can be thought-provoking. Code either compiles, passes tests, fixes the bug, respects the repository, and does not delete production. Modern coding agents must read enormous code bases, plan across files, call tools, run tests, recover from errors, and keep working for hours. That exposes weaknesses that a 5-turn chatbot demo can hide. And this is where enterprise money is moving. Developers will pay for a model that saves 3 hours. Companies will pay much more for an agent that closes a real ticket without opening 6 new ones. Coding went from feature to proving ground. Hello World became Hello Shareholders. A startup can release one model behind one API and patch the documentation after lunch. Google has to think about search, maps, YouTube, workspace, Android, cloud customers, developers, advertisers, regulators, safety teams, latency, costs, and the terrifying possibility that one hallucination becomes a screenshot viewed by a billion people. Bloomberg's reporting points to Google's many layers of stakeholders and the challenge of integrating AI across a giant product portfolio. The company is also testing models with partners and engaging the US government. Some of that is bureaucracy. Some of it is what responsible deployment looks like when your beta test has the population of a continent. But complexity still has a price. Every additional review can catch a failure. It can also turn a fast model company into a calendar app with GPUs. The same scale that gives Google unmatched distribution creates the world's most elaborate merge conflict. One model, dozens of products, 47 meetings. The stand-up is now a sit-down. The delay would hurt less in the quiet market. This market has the energy of a multiplayer lobby after somebody discovers an overpowered weapon. OpenAI released GPT 5.6 Sol. Meta launched MuseSpark 1.1 for agentic coding. Anthropic has made coding central to its model lineup. Chinese labs keep shipping strong open-weight systems, and Moonshot's Kimi K3 arrived with long-horizon coding as a headline feature. Every release resets customer expectations. A model that looked frontier class 3 months ago can become the legacy option before the procurement meeting ends. That creates a nasty loop for Google. Delay to improve quality and competitors gain time. Rush the model and a weak coding release becomes a public benchmark piñata. The correct engineering decision may still be to wait. The correct marketing decision was apparently due in June. Google is compiling while the rest of the industry keeps clicking run, ship, post benchmark, start discourse, repeat. Now the counterpoint, because Google is dead, has been one of technology's least reliable annual traditions. Frontier models get delayed. OpenAI's latest model also faced a delay, in this case connected to US government requests over national security concerns. Anthropic has dealt with government restrictions and safeguard requirements. Shipping increasingly powerful systems is not supposed to feel like updating a calculator app. And if Gemini 3.5 Pro was not competitive, delaying it may be the least bad option. A bad launch would freeze the weakness into benchmarks, customer evaluations, memes, and the permanent museum of screenshots known as X. Google also says multiple models are already being tested with partners. That matters. The company may be improving the flagship while shipping smaller, cheaper models where customers care about latency and cost more than leaderboard trophies. Delay is not defeat, but silence creates a narrative vacuum. And the internet fills narrative vacuums with funeral music and red arrows. Do not confuse a missed model date with a missing business. Google owns custom TPUs, global data centers, Google Cloud, Android, Chrome, Workspace, YouTube, and Search. It can put a model in front of more users before breakfast than most startups can acquire in a decade. Alphabet said it expects to spend between $175 and $185 billion on capital expenditures in 2026, roughly double 2025. Much of that goes to AI servers, data centers, and networking. That is not a moat. That is a continent with liquid cooling. Google also controls the full stack: model research, training hardware, cloud deployment, consumer distribution, and advertising monetization. If Gemini becomes competitive, Google can spread it across products with terrifying speed. The risk is not that Google lacks resources. The risk is turning those resources into the world's most expensive waiting room. The company has everything required to win, including the rare ability to make a delay cost 4% before the model even launches. Finance angle. Alphabet trades as GOOGL and GOOG. The stock fell 4% on Thursday after the Gemini delay report. That reaction tells you what investors are pricing. Not one chatbot, but confidence that massive AI spending will become products, cloud revenue, and protection for search. The bull case is still powerful. Google has custom chips, enormous distribution, profitable core businesses, and rising demand for AI infrastructure. A delayed flagship does not erase any of that. If 3.5 Pro ships strong, the market can forget this episode faster than a terms of service update. The bear case is execution. Alphabet plans up to $185 billion of capital spending this year. At that scale, we are still testing is not a product roadmap. It is a very expensive loading spinner. For Microsoft and Meta investors, ticker MSFT and Meta, Google's stumble is competitive oxygen. But nobody should mistake one delay for a permanent transfer of power. The trade is not Google doomed. The question is whether CapEx becomes capability before capability becomes commodity. So, is Google falling behind? On this release cycle, reportedly yes. Gemini 3.5 Pro missed its June target. Coding performance fell short of internal expectations, and competitors kept shipping. But Google is not an AI tourist. It helped create the architecture, built the chips, owns the infrastructure, and controls distribution channels that every startup would sell a kidney to access. The real problem is conversion. Can Google convert research into models, models into products, products into habits, and $185 billion of infrastructure into returns before the frontier moves again? That is the new AI race. Prestige is not a launch button. Compute is not a launch button. A benchmark rumor is definitely not a launch button. The company that wins will be the one that combines intelligence, cost, reliability, safety, and speed, then actually ships. Google taught the world that attention is all you need. In 2026, shipping is all you need. Like and subscribe. I'm an AI voice clone. I literally don't care.